So first, to kick this off, this is not a judgmental video. I'm not putting down anyone. We all have our things that we're dealing with. I'm not judging anyone. There used to be a time when I used to drink what seemed like all day. I would wake up in the morning, get cleaned up, and have a simple beer. During the midday on lunch from work or whatever, I would also maybe have a beer, a light beer, just something with my lunch. After work, I would also have beer. Every moment of the day where I didn't have a responsibility in that moment, I would be looking for a chance to get some beer in my system. And this is not even to speak of like after hours, during the evening hours. I would either drink even more beer or even switch it up and go straight to hard liquor or spirits, sometimes wine. I did this for a number of years in my early to mid 20s. Needless to say, when you're that young, you don't even see what it's doing to you. You don't even recognize, and it doesn't even register that you might be doing actual damage to yourself. It's the whole feeling of invincibility thing that young people seem to have. Over time, as I started getting more into wanting to feel good as much as I can, as often and as frequently as I could, beer and alcohol started to kind of take a back seat. For a long period of time, I want to say maybe almost 2 to 3 years, I didn't drink anything. I stopped drinking altogether. I just gave it up because it bumped heads with what I was trying to do for myself from a health standpoint. So learning all these new things, how beer and alcohol affected the body, those things just kind of stopped being desirable to me. Not to mention, I was watching from the sidelines, friends and some family members go through really tough times due to their use of beer and alcohol. I had one friend that died after drinking too much at a party and then getting behind the wheel. Died a terrible death, ended up crashing into a telephone pole, and his car engulfed in flames. He never got the opportunity to get over his abuse of alcohol. Other people closer to me were going through bits of depression because they just could not live without having that drink. And it's hard to watch. It's hard to sit back and watch this happen to people you care about. So as time passed, I kind of developed a real discipline to drinking. Now, fast forward to where I am today, I look at drinking in a different light. I no longer drink to have fun. I don't drink to kick it. I don't use drinking as a tool to do dumb things. Now, arguably, I still do dumb things, but if I can at all help it, it'll never be because I was drunk. So as I mentioned earlier, I like feeling good. I like feeling good as often as I can. With all the things that we're facing in the world today that have us feeling down and sad and just crappy on the inside from a physical standpoint, looking crappy, with all the things that we have to deal with, I don't need to consciously add more to it by drinking and over drinking and too frequently drinking. It's a fact that drinking too much affects your health in a negative way. But even thinking back, I can just always remember whenever I drank, and especially when I drank too much, waking up the next day is hell. Like, who wants that? Like, I do not want to wake up with a headache. Why? Why do we do this? Not only did I have the hangover headache, sometimes my stomach was just all messed up. Sometimes it was just like, couldn't turn on lights. The light was just affecting my eyes, which affect the headache. Hangovers are the worst. I just don't see why we do this to ourselves. It's crazy to even think about when you think about it with a clear mind. And I don't wish I was like the people who have that high tolerance, who can drink so much and never get sick. I don't even wish I was like that because there's more going on. Your poor liver, man, we only get one liver. I don't know many people that survive liver failure or have liver dysfunction and live a regular, normal life. I don't know many people. Do you? So nastying up our liver has to be one of the biggest things to consider when you're a heavy drinker or a frequent drinker. Repairing your liver is no easy task, and there is a point where it gets to the point of no repair. But because of all those empty calories, there's also weight gain, and I know people are just gonna be like, well, I work out every day so that I can drink beer. But why? Imagine how much better you would be if you cut out the beer and worked out every day. It just almost makes too much sense, right? And there's many other toxic things we're doing to our body when we drink and or drink too much, but we don't need to outline every single thing here. It's a fact that the more you drink, the more damage you're doing to your body. One thing that people don't even consider is the dehydration. When you're dehydrated, it goes beyond just being thirsty, right? There's all kinds of things that are going on behind the scenes during actual dehydration. Now, water for us is our ultimate tool for anti-dehydration. But I go a little bit further because I know that dehydration goes deeper than just being thirsty. As bad as just being dehydrated and thirsty is, being dehydrated in your organs is that much worse. So our gut is the most overlooked thing when it comes to us trying to be healthier people. That's where all our bacteria is kept. That's where many things happen that keep us healthy and keep us functioning as normal human beings the way we're supposed to, which is why I work on that first, or at least I try to. I'm getting better. And I don't just hydrate myself or rehydrate myself with water as much these days. These days, if you've been watching the videos, you know what I'm doing right now, which ends in a few days, and I'm excited. But anyway, this is what I'm doing nowadays. Fresh juice. I just juiced this 20 minutes ago, but while I was getting ready to drink it, I was thinking how hydrated my body was going to be getting this inside me. I've said in videos before that these juices hydrate better than just regular water. Plants making the water that they make and doing the things they do and adding the things they add to the water is so much better than just plain old water. Not to downplay water. I know we need water. It has a role in our lives. But this is just so much better. And you can feel the hydration. It's a little more satisfying than just drinking plain old water. I guess in my opinion, I have to stick that in there because not everybody's going to feel the way I feel, I guess. If I can drink this and no water at all, I think I'd be okay. I think I'd be better than okay. And I have to say that now that I'm near the end of this juice cleanse, it ends in the end of January, I wish I had someone that can constantly juice fruits for me all day so that I can have this just ready and waiting for me at all times of the day. But I'm too busy to keep this up, and it does get expensive buying nothing but fruits every single day. So for now, I'm just going to stick with doing this every quarter of the year. We'll see. But when it comes to drinking alcohol, I've tamed it. And since I live where I live, if you watch my other channel, you know where I live. I live in the land where beer is aplenty and beer is a delicious. So I don't think I'll be giving it up completely anytime soon, but I definitely have given up over drinking for fun, and just getting to the point where I am really doing damage to this one body that I get. So I guess I've exchanged my love for beer to a love for fresh juices.